Aussie.
Hey, here we are, alive, ho. Slightly late start. Hello, Luke, unnamed channel, Megaleech, hello. Yes, one thing and another. I've had an exciting day. Look, this won't seem exciting to you, but that space over there, which is now largely empty, but for my drinks, used to have a big, I don't know, cupboard thing. Cabinet, I don't know what you call it. We did a bit of rearranging in the house today so I could have a clear space there to shoot videos. So there's a very strong chance I won't shoot videos during the live streams anymore because I won't have to. Be different with lighting and stuff, but we'll see where this takes us. Yeah, Luke, this is the first stage of some New Year, New World things. Probably the only one that will be visible on the streams. Other stuff will just be other stuff around the house and planning. It was actually largely Mrs. Angry's thing when I was talking about doing stuff and maybe resurrecting my green screen. She said, what if we move that? And she's awesome. Yes, musical. I've had a new stuff. By the way, I did get a look at, hopefully you saw I commented, get a look at that. You shot a bit of video with phone out the window of your plane flying over Melbourne midnight New Year's Eve. Very cool. Unnamed channel. I have so many skeletons. Closets. This is my Swedish punch with a bit of lime juice added to it. Which is nice and bright. I'm going to add soda. I think that will make it a really refreshing drink. Swedish punch, lime, and soda. I think we're over the heat wave. I think this would be a good heat wave drink. I think we're over the heat wave here. What's the Bureau say for the next couple of days? Only 28 tomorrow. And then down to 23, 26. See, 23 to 26 is my perfect weather as far as I'm concerned. Sunny, warm, not too warm. Just about perfect. That's how I like it. Heidi ho, Nettie. How are you doing? So, yeah, I hope no one's going to miss me fucking talking to the camera for 15 minutes stretches. But yeah, if what I'm doing works out, I won't need to do video shoots during live streams anymore. So that'll be fun. Just freeing up live streams to concentrate on you wonderful people. Megaleech, 18 to 21. That's your favorite temperature? Well, you know, it's what you're acclimatized to. You're living in Tasmania. That's very warm for you. That's good. Oh, man, that's actually really quite nice. That is, for my palate, that's what it needs. It needs some soda or lemonade to lighten it. Michael on Facebook, hello and Happy New Year. And don't we all want a Happy New Year? Don't we all want to not see that this is shaping up as the worst year yet for the pandemic, which is some colossal fuckery on the part of the cosmos? So as of Monday, I'm going to be trying to get a booster shot. I'm booked in for the following Monday. Then they changed the rules. So if Monday, it's like sigh. But yeah, I think if I'm just near chemists who are advertising they're doing vaccinations, I'm just going to rock in and say, hey, someone cancelled. Do you have a free spot? Can I just get a Moderna booster now? Yeah, worst they can say is, well, actually, the worst they can say is fuck off. I just don't think that's what they say. I think the worst thing they will say is no, and that's okay. That's okay. Nettie, were there decent fireworks last night? I think there were the normal sort of fireworks. I wasn't watching. I did see, just before starting the stream, I did see the start of the 9 o'clock fireworks in Sydney, because they do two, one at 9 for the kiddies and then one at midnight. I was not looking at anything at midnight. I was hanging out here at midnight. So yeah, unnamed channel been running down Main Street with a butterfly net, catching the COVID vapor to help stop people getting infected. Thank you. That sounds helpful. That sounds at least as helpful as things being done by Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. So good job. I'm saying. It's music over. You got to book a booster? Yeah. You had too much to think about next week. Yeah, that's fair. And Luke, the crowds were smaller. Oh, Nettie, did you only just find out that Betty White died? Yeah, she didn't make it to 2022. Didn't make it to 100th birthday. Which kind of feels like the last bit of 2021 fuckery, really. So yeah, she's just a couple of weeks short of 100 years old. I think we can round up, just say, Betty White lived 100 years. Nettie, Ali just told you. Okay. Yeah. In our time, I know somewhere in the last 24 hours she died anyway. Or 24 hours that it was announced anyway. Oh no! Unnamed channel. Your friend said they should have given Betty White CPR for 18 days to get it to 100. No, I'm with you. That's a little bit far. That is a teensy bit far, quite honestly. Yeah, look, I don't know that the fireworks displays were small, but I was stunned because I know they were limiting the crowds in Sydney, but they were saying they actually did control. So there was, on the foreshores of Sydney Harbour, there was, I don't know, less than 50,000 people, and there's usually in excess of 1 million or even 2 million people there. That's fucking amazing. Jesus Christ, young Mr. Angry, who's staying in his mum's place at the moment. He does 2 weeks at his mum's place and 2 weeks here. We're in the middle of the 2 weeks for him. He went out on New Year's Eve, and apparently he's posting photos in the CBD just in massive crowds. So I think his plan is more or less voluntarily isolating himself this coming week and having multiple rapid antigen tests before he comes over here in a week, because I won't be boosted. And hopefully he trends negative, but it would have been from what young Ms. Angry tells me about the photos he was sharing, it would have been borderline impossible for him to not come in contact with someone who's COVID positive. Now, of course, because he's double vaccinated, he's young, that doesn't mean he'll actually test positive for the virus, but there's a reasonable chance. He's being cautious. Megaleech, do we know what took her? I think being 100. That's as just simple. I don't know that she'd made any public appearances recently, but yeah. Luke, you've done a rapid test because a friend was close contact. That's fair. Yeah, unnamed channel. It may have been aliens that got Betty White. I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, arguably, how much stranger? I don't know how much stranger, but stranger things. Speaking of which, there's supposed to be a new season of Stranger Things. Now I can say this year, because 2022, so it's this year. This, the joke I love doing on people now, like on January 1st, is like on social media or something saying, see you next year. And they go, you're too late. It's already next year. I go, no, I don't like you. I'm avoiding you for at least a year. So, fuck off. Jokes. I'm a really happy, friendly guy. Honest I am. Okay. Oh, Nettie, nobody's going to plane back to Queensland. And the fridge is singing the song of its people. Don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but it's hearing. Michael, you're in Elmore all week. You're doing scouts. Jesus, Elmore. Okay, it's much hotter. It was 39 here today, but it's dropping right back to 28 tomorrow and then mid-20s. Jesus, that is not luck going in your favor, Michael. A week of 30 plus, that fucking sucks, especially with scouts. Feisty young lads. Music over. Yes, been flying since last year. Yeah, it's a very long flight. But yeah, so hopefully past those next year jokes. Now, I look, I'm as big a fan of dad jokes as anyone. Stupid jokes. It's probably about being a dad, quite honestly. So, I was just thinking, I am part of changing this setup over here. So I got a bit of blank wall. Is I want to do some very different style videos for YouTube, and see how it works. Because if I do it, it will be extremely different to any other cocktail channel on YouTube. That can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Can be a good thing like, hey, I'm giving people something they don't get anywhere else, so I'm unique, and I might grow that way. Or it might be people don't want something different, and they might say, fuck off. But it's YouTube. It's zero cost to experiment. It's the thing I love about YouTube. You can just experiment. You go, oh, I have an idea. I wonder if it'll work. Ooh, the old 100% method. I'll do it and see if it works. And that's what I'm doing. Michael, no one said your dad jokes are good. The whole point about dad jokes is they aren't good. But I'll laugh about them. A name channel. You put up a green screen for a while. Girlfriend thought they're trying to make a feature wall. Didn't like it and took it down. Dang. She didn't understand the whole green screen thing. Yeah, I just want, for this new idea I have, I just want a neutral background. Doesn't have to be a green screen. It's neutral. Luke, on this channel, on the Angry Aussie channel, there will be at least some live streams all the time. Honestly, I think here in Australia, the politicians have got about a month of denial left to them. And then they realize it's far too late, but they'll impose some restrictions again. Not necessarily full-scale lockdowns, but restrictions. We'll see. And I'm certainly not going out anywhere in the next couple of weeks. In terms of, I mean, go to the supermarket or the chemist. I'm not going to go to any shopping malls. I'm not going to eat out or go out for drinks until at least a couple of weeks after my booster. So that's 2-3 weeks, depending when I get it. And at that stage, I think the case numbers are going to be so fucking freaky, no one will want to go out, even if there's not an enforced lockdown. But we shall see. Predicting the future in this world is a mug's game, even when it seems really obvious. And it seems really obvious we are going to get globally astronomical case numbers in the next month or two. And by astronomical, I mean 10 times higher than what people have been used to. Sydney's already got it. Sydney's already in the 20,000s, and they never had more than 2,000. Melbourne will be there in a week or 2 weeks, almost inevitably. But around the world, like the UK's soaring towards 200,000 cases a day. And I mean, fuck knows, the US and other parts of Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, who fucking knows? But it just seems, I don't know. Luke, we will get to the stage, and in all seriousness, I think this year is by the end of the year, more people will have had COVID than haven't had COVID. That's, again, I just said predicting the future is a mug's game, but I will make that prediction. By the end of this year, globally, more people will have had COVID than haven't had COVID. I think Chandler, great filter. Musk is getting close to sending man to Mars. Great filter had to key in. Musk is nowhere near sending people to Mars. Musk will not. And again, Musk is not doing anything. Musk is a charlatan, and he's not even an Edison. Edison did at least kind of invent some stuff. Edison mainly stole inventions and was better at sales. Musk inherited wealth from his family's apartheid mine. Fucking took credit for other people's ideas, subsequently, investing money in other people's things and then saying it was him. But I know people got worried about, the billionaires doing their space thing. For the foreseeable future, in other words, for the lifetimes of definitely Bezos, but also Musk and all the others, space travel is just going to be shit. It's just like, it's uncomfortable, it's inconvenient, it's a really shitty life. Well, again, unnamed channel, close in the history of humanity. We did in 100 years go from, in fact, what was the time between the Wright brothers and landing on the moon? About 60 years? But it would be possible for hardy explorers to land on Mars. Possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it'd be possible for it to happen in the next couple of decades. But it's not going to be colonized in any meaningful sense. The billionaires aren't going to leave Earth for Mars or the moon or space stations, because living in any of those environments would be absolute fucking shit. It would be brutal, harsh, frontier shit. And these fucking indulged billionaire fucks aren't going to give up all their privilege for something like that. So that whole thing about Bezos or Musk or whoever escaping Earth to live in space is just not real. It's absolutely categorically not real, said the person who has repeatedly said trying to predict the future is a mug's game. So whenever I predict the future, it's great big asterisk, and going to the asterisk is I don't know shit. So yeah. Hey, Safa. Which don't look up. The documentary, Don't Look Up. I mean, I just love that they had to go real unsubtle in that film to satirize the horrific stupidity that we're seeing in the face of climate change, which is literally an existential threat to modern civilization. So they literally had to go to when you could see in the sky the comet that was going to hit Earth, the deniers actually having the catchphrase, don't look up. Astounding stuff. Hello, Celtic King. How you doing? So, yeah, it's weird, like real people and not just random idiots like presidents of the United States and other major political leaders in the world are so fucking stupid. You have to, if you want to satirize them at all, you have to go for extreme farce. Unnamed channel, go watch the movie Idiocracy. Idiocracy is funny, but I 1000% disagree with people who watch Idiocracy and goes, that's what it's going to be. Like, it's not, because it's like the central tenet of Idiocracy is people get stupider and stupider. Science ends up pursuing really stupid shit like hair loss rather than meaningful stuff, and dumber and dumber people get in. People are getting smarter. We are seeing examples of some people being stupider. People overall are being smarter. Science is making greater and greater advances all the time in important areas. So Idiocracy is funny. I think it's a very funny movie. Anyone going like, yeah, man, that's where it's no. That's not only wrong and stupid. It's really classist as well, bordering on eugenics. It's pretty bad. Heine's popping in and out. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for you. So Idiocracy is not a documentary, but Mad Max Fury Road is. So I think I'm probably due to rewatch Fury Road just as a training film to prepare myself for the inevitable future. Caleb on Facebook. Hello, how you doing, man? Happy New Year. Yes. Do not, my friends, become too accustomed to water, because you will become dependent on it and you will regret its absence. That's not the exact quote that Morton Joe said, but that is some of the darkest humor that really cracks me up when he, in his benevolent to dictate away, bestows water on the masses and then tells them don't be dependent on water. The thing you're literally dependent on or you will die, that he has a massive supply of, he says, yeah, no, don't get dependent on water because you'll get upset when you don't have any. It's like, yes, we will. We will get very upset when we don't have water. Musical Aviator, a pyrotechnic guitar would be a good thing for the apocalypse, I'm saying. Oh God, Unnamed Channel, Waterworld was such a shithouse movie. I mean, it had Dennis Hopper in it, so that's good. But yeah, no, in terms of an apocalypse movie, Waterworld was pretty fucking stupid. Again, Mad Max Fury Road, certainly one of my favorite films of the last 20 years. That film's fucking awesome. But yeah, it's pretty gosh darn good, that one, for something that's so like ridiculously simple. Trying to get away from the bad guy, so you do a big road chase, you get away, you stop, and then you turn around and do the road chase again, but in the other direction. That's what happens. It's that basic, but it's friggin' amazing. I mean, it's ridiculous that that's a good movie. It's ridiculous, but it is. It's a really good movie. Oh, yeah, Unnamed Channel. We all have our own taste. Yeah, you like Waterworld, don't like Mad Max. I mean, that's fine. Again, personal taste. I mean, I'm never going to be shy and saying, that sucks. But personal taste in, arts and creativity, movies, TV, music, books, visual arts, all that sort of stuff. It's personal taste, and it's ridiculous to say someone is right or wrong. Yeah. See, Celtic, who's my favorite actor? I don't really have a favorite actor. Like, there's nothing when I see it and I go, oh, they're in it, I've got to go see it. But there's a lot of people, that when I see when I was a lad, I was fixated on Mad Max as a lad. Was a huge Mel Gibson fan, but name general, they say Waterworld's Mad Max on water. I say Mad Max is Waterworld on land. Well, one copied the other, and the linear progression of time shows us pretty clearly which is which. But again, yeah, it's personal taste. There's no point. Well, okay, no, you can absolutely critique things, but you can't tell someone they're wrong to like something. That's stupid. You can say, I don't understand why you like it. I think it sucks. I think it sucks for these reasons. I think this other thing is better for these reasons. But that's personal taste and preference. Yeah, it's really dumb when people say like, "No, you're wrong. That's not your favorite music." So it is what it is. And I'm not. I went to the movies and saw Dune a couple of weeks ago, and I think that's the last time I go to the movies for months. That's no reflection on Dune. That's a reflection on the number of COVID cases out there and me not wanting to be in an enclosed space with recirculated air for hours on end. That's just like a bad fucking idea. So I don't think I'll be going to the cinema for months, but we'll see. Like anything could happen over the next couple of months, but we'll see. I think this current surge is going to take at least 2 months to run. I think that's what they experienced in South Africa. The Omicron surge lasts for about 2 months and then it improves, but we'll see. Oh, Megaleech, you're bold, going to Ghostbusters Afterlife tomorrow. Okay. Now, that was not one I was going to rush to see anyway. I mean, everyone was saying they liked the new Spider-Man movie, so I was kind of interested in seeing that. Kind of interested in the Matrix movie. But I ain't going to the cinema. That's just me, again. I think evidence backs my decision, but, it's different for everyone. Everyone has different priorities. Just finishing my sody water. Sparkling water. All Australian blood orange sparkling water. So, Mick, so long as you don't hear about a northwest coast surge in Tasmania. Yeah. So, name Channing, haven't gone to the movies in years. Seats give you bad back, wrestling snack bags. Okay. Sounds like you don't very much don't like the public experience. I usually go to Gold Class. Celtic King heading off. Bye. Just go over you. There is the drive-in at Coburg. There's also one at Dramana. I think it still operates. Like Mrs. Angry and I had a weekend away in Dramana a little while back. We passed the Dramana drive-in. I thought, oh, that looks like it's still operating, but I'm not actually sure. Yeah, obviously, but I don't think. Okay, there is the thing of the time lag between seeing something at a drive-in now and home. I don't think the drive-in viewing experience is better than viewing at home. I think viewing at home is better. I think viewing in a cinema is better than at home. But yeah, I was just going to look something up and I distracted myself. If it was important, I'll remember it. A name channel. I love your misanthropic attitude. You get pissed off going to grocery. I get pissed off going to groceries sometimes. It's just people in traffic, people doing dumb shit. I always have to tone it down if I have passengers. If I'm driving by myself, I'm just swear. Like I don't lean out the window and abuse people. I sit in the car swearing at them, so they don't even really know I'm swearing at them. I have to turn it down if I have passengers because I get a little bit extreme, quite honestly. Just thinking of oh yeah, okay. Uh-huh. I'm thinking of getting like LED strip light to put on the floor there. Again, for those who missed it, my little space there used to be a wooden cabinet there, which is moved. It's just my drinks there. And they're on wheels, so I can move them. So I'm going to shoot videos on that neutral background. There's a couple of reasons for that. And I might do a couple different styles of videos. But I might get an LED strip light to put in behind me to get a glow coming up on the wall behind me. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I need to plan it. Your girlfriend tells you people can't hear you, no point swearing at them. I think there's a point in swearing at them because it makes me feel better. And it doesn't usually make me feel better to make someone else feel bad. So the catharsis of swearing makes me feel better. And I feel better because they don't hear me. They're not really aware of me swearing at them. So I'm not really bringing them down. I'm just getting a bit of catharsis by swearing at them. So I think there is a point to it. I think catharsis is a powerful thing. But, you know, to each their own. So, yeah. Shieldsy, 17 more sleeps of your 30s, then start the 40s. Power on into a new decade, brother. Power on into a new decade. Yeah, I'm halfway through my 50s now, and I just continue to enjoy life. My body hasn't quite started to break down to the point where I'm upset at things on the regular. It's good. Unknown channel, you install loud air horns in your car. That helps. That would fucking loud horns freak people out. Oh my god. So I'm just getting a laugh out of the loud air horn thing. I love it. Shieldsy, you're going grey. I don't know what that's like, man. It's so funny. Like, the 15 years of doing the Angry Aussie channel, and I was like dyeing my hair all the time. And then COVID comes, and I was like, yep, fuck it. I'm done. Not coloring my hair anymore. I'm just staying at home. And so over the last 2 years, the real Angry is going. I think I stopped dyeing my hair about 18 months ago, possibly longer. So, yeah, it took the best part of a year to grow out. Now it's, thoroughly in its natural state. Yes, unknown channel, people do not expect truck type horns out of a small car. Be very off-putting. I can imagine it scaring the shit out of pedestrians, actually, if someone jaywalked. Imagine it just really freaking them out. I'm not suggesting do that. Heaven forbid I come up with evil ideas and suggest people. I want to use this. There's this little bit of maraschino liqueur in this bottle, and I got a replacement bottle. I need the shelf space. Also, here's the thing. This is the dangerous thing. Like, my 2 drink carts were full of bottles, and I needed to stop buying them. But one shelf was glassware. And I don't know if you can. Oh, can we get up here? Now you can't really see it, but the glassware is no longer on the drinks cart. It's on a shelf on the thing behind them, which freed up an entire shelf on my drinks cart, which theoretically means a whole shelf's worth of drinks could be had. So yeah. Shieldsy, you're blonde, so you'll be Snow White by your 50s. Yeah, my hair was always really dark. And I don't even know. I think I saw my first grey hair in my late 20s, but I've been dyeing my hair since then, or even before. But I used to dye it like blue black because I really like the intense blue black. And I dyed it dark colors for years. And so I was never really aware of exactly. I assumed I had a fair bit of grey, but I didn't know for sure. And now I know. And then channel, you're saying that happens. People crossing, earbuds in, not looking at their phone. You wake them up and they probably shit their pants with the air horn. Oh, thoroughly antisocial. And I'm not laughing. No, I am not. Shields, are you going to be a grey wolf? See, that's the way you want to phrase it. Be a grey wolf. Silver fox. All these things. I'm trying to think who locally I could get LED strip lights. Probably. Oh God, what's that parts supplier called? The real nerdy shop. Oh God, my brain has stopped working. Someone help me out. What's the real nerdy hardware shop? There's one not far from here. And by hardware, I don't mean Bunnings hardware. Shieldsy, you knew what I was talking about. J-Car. Yes. There's a J-Car near me. Okay. J-Car has really long ones. That's what she said. USB powered trimmable RGB LED strip light. So starting at $20. Starting at $20 and going up. All right, yeah, you can keep spending as much money as you want, really. Yeah, I might just go to J-Car. Come on, what are we doing here? Yep, that's the one. Yeah, actually, yeah, I might just go visit them. There you go. Luke, you knew it too. J-Car, unnamed channel, J-Car. Mega Leech. PC case gear. There is actually a PC case gear near me too. Yes, Shieldsy J-Car's Dick Smith for the 2000s. Although Dick Smith was always a bit more mainstream. J-Car's a bit more fucking nerdy. Engineer type stuff. Unnamed channel, you did a bunch of work on your bus with strip lights. Got your solder skills up. Nice. If you're soldering, get one of their no wash flux pens. Makes a lot of easier. I'm going to go very simple. I'm just going to get something out of the box that I can put along the floor, essentially, to put a wash of light up on that, because that's a very neutral wall there. It's an off-white, sort of somewhere between off-white and peach color, and just have a wash of color on the wall behind me. I think that might be an interesting visual for cocktails. Oh yeah, Shieldsy. Yeah, no, J-Car is a bit like Bunnings. You go in with one thing in mind and buy tons of crap while you're in there. That's definitely a risk. I went in there with Young Ms. Angry recently. She was getting some stuff for a PC building, and so many things tempted me. So it can be very dangerous. So got to be careful. It's funny. It's kind of like as I'm coming to the end of the second year on my cocktail channel, it's going to change again. And I'm generally reckon Dick Smith was similar to J-Car, even better at one point. And yeah, they did turn into, well, they don't exist here anymore, but they did turn into a Harvey Norman type store here as well. Yes, then they went bust. They exist. Someone bought the rights to sell under the name Dick Smith online because they thought it was a valuable, recognizable brand name. And they were probably right. So I think you can still buy from Dick Smith online. So yeah, apparently there was some huge scam with the Dick Smith stores. Yeah, it's weird. Just a whole thing with them inflating sales or whatever. It was some whole scam and this was after Dick Smith had actually sold the stores. That's right, Megalich, it's Kogan, and he's a fucking pile of shit global warming denier. So I refuse to buy from Kogan. James Paradiso, have I had Buffalo Christ? I have no idea what Buffalo Christ is. And I don't know if that's a real thing or if it's a straight line for a joke. I'm all up for a straight line with a joke. Oh, okay. I was wondering, James, if that was an autocorrect thing. You meant to say Buffalo Trace. It came out as Buffalo Christ, which honestly, there's some humor to be had in that. I was just about to say, like, I have very few American whiskies, but I actually just bought a couple. One's still to be delivered. I actually have mostly Australian whiskies. I get very parochial, and they have a different vibe to bourbon. Bourbon is aged in new oak barrels. Can't be called bourbon if it's not aged in new oak. But the Australian whiskey makers don't have that thing, and they can use whatever barrels they like. They can use new oak. They can use ex-bourbon barrels. They can use ex-wine barrels, and they do all of these things. It's just making me want to try an Australian whiskey now. In fact, I think I will. I make a sour. I haven't made a whiskey sour in ages. Yeah, that's actually a good call, Shieldsy. Dick Smith in the 80s was better. Woolworths bought it, went downhill. Yeah. I'm going to make a whiskey sour. I haven't made a whiskey sour. And I'm going to do it with my Tiny Bear single malt. Because I haven't really used that in a cocktail. So, where did I put the Tiny Bear single malt? That's the big question. So I just moved some things around. So... it's the first one I found. Tiny Bear single malt whiskey. This distillery is about half an hour away from my place. I went and got this in person. Literally, well, Luke, it gives me more freedom in the live streams. But, I was always drinking. So they only made 280. It was 50%. I didn't realize it was 100 proof, or I'd forgotten. Handcrafted bear nectar. They don't really tell you anything about it, what they age. Oh, no, port barrel. Okay. So this was aged in port barrels. Right, so I'm going to get my shaker and shake it like a Polaroid picture. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Okay. Got my Ango. You know what? I'm going to put a fucking cherry in it just because I can. That's what I want. I made a special sour mix. All right, where's my foam? Wonder foam. Where's my wonder foam? Wonder boy. Seriously, where's my wonder foam? Ugh. Gotta rearrange things. Maybe it's up here. Sometimes I don't put... It is here. I didn't put it back. Bad angry. Didn't put it back. All right. Cocktail shaker. And... all right. I'm going to put it in the coupe. They're in the dishwasher. All right. No? What the fuck? Oh, they're there. Okay, I'll put it in a Nicanora. What the fuck? I'm nothing if not adaptable. Okay. So, vivant. Some ice. Ice, baby. Do, 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 do. ice. There we go. Do some ice, baby. Gonna give myself. Oh man, this is gonna be. I was gonna say I'm gonna give myself a generous whiskey sour, and this is 100 proof whiskey. Oh, that port thing is like honey, just like honey, just like honey. I'll use some of my sour mix. Oh, come on. Don't give me the shits. Stupid bottle giving me the shits. There we go. Finally got it to work. Okay. It's a sugar syrup made with lemons. So it's lemon and sugar at the same time. So it's sour and sweet. Sweet and sour. And FOMA. Da-da, da-da. Da-da, da-da. Few drops this. Few drops of the foam. Oh, I probably should have done a dry shake first. Fuck it. It doesn't always foam very well if I don't do that. All right. So, all right. I'm going to shake. Thank you. I forgot to put the microphone back on. I was sparing you with the noise of shaking. See? Whiskey sour. Got a nice bit of foam on top. Put a few drops of Angostura bitters on top because I was going to put a cherry, but I won't actually. A few drops of Ango on top. Get some aromatics when I bring it up to the nose. When I'm tasting whiskey, I usually like to first taste room temperature and then put a little bit of ice in it to chill it, and then to add a little bit of water because that tends to open up flavors differently. Whereas if just drinking whiskey neat is your thing, go for it. But I think it actually broadens the experience if you add ice or a bit of chilled water. James, supermarkets tend to not sell bitters. You need to go to purveyors of alcohol. And hello, Noog. Good riddance to the garbage year. Yeah, I don't really hold out a lot of hope for this year being significantly better. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I haven't had a whiskey sour in ages. That's really good. God damn. So, Shieldsy, your drought's broken in Queensland. So much rain in the last week. Unnamed channel, you add Coke. I don't add mixers to my spirits very often. Sometimes I do. Not often, though. Like, I'm not into highballs. You know, sometimes a Coke or soda or ginger beer or something like that. Oh, I see. Sorry. Unnamed channel, you're saying you would freeze the whiskey but not add any ice. Okay, if you were mixing it with Coke, then that's very different, and I'd probably back you in what you're doing there. Okay. James, not just Dan Murphy's, but yeah, like bottle shops. Like, most of the supermarkets have bottle shops attached to them. Particularly Angostura bitters is bog standard. Everyone has Angostura. But there are a lot of potential bitters out there. I've got like a dozen different flavors bitters here because it's interesting the difference they make to a drink. For those who don't know what bitters is or why you put bitters in a drink, bitters is to cocktails as herbs and spices are to cooking, basically. James, have I ever drunk rum? Over there, and that, oh God, oh my God, it's an earthquake. That's what I was trying to do. Over there you go. I finally worked out how to frame. Over there in that big collection, there's a dozen or more rums in very different styles. So yes, I have drunked rums. So no channel, you saying Coke, but you meant Pepsi. Coke's racist. Okay. Plus, of course, Pepsi solved racism with that Kendall Jenner ad a couple of years ago, which was so fucking cringe. So I've had a feel this morning. I was fine. I woke up initially at like 6:30. Had to have a slash and whatnot. Was tempted to get up, but then I went, yeah, nah, fuck it, and went back to sleep and didn't wake up again till 11. And that was great. I was just fucking crashed. Because when I go finish the live stream at about 1:30, which is slightly early by New Year's Eve standards, because we've gone till 3 a.m. the last couple of years. So I went to bed at about 1:30. Like I said, yeah, woke up initially at 6:30. Yeah, then crashed again and didn't get up till 11. So I was good after that. So Noog, you're saying similar, rich will ruin them by telling people not to use them, should care about pureness and taste of the drink, like they did with spices in the Victorian age. It was weird how secretive the spice trade was in the old days. James, you like Midori. I've got some Midori there. I was going to make a video I'm going to make soon for my cocktail channel is going to be a Midori drink called a Japanese slipper. God, I was just looking at what the fuck is going on here. It's a pretty simple drink, the Japanese. It was actually invented here in Melbourne, Australia. So it's orange liqueur, green melon liqueur, which is Midori, and lemon juice, equal parts, 30 mils of each. Safi contemplating a Macca's run. And again, this is not to sound superior or anything. I'm just not that into it. I have not had McDonald's in the longest time. Even, I think probably the last big chain I had a burger from was probably Hungry Jack's, and that was ages ago. James, difference between supermarket chain liquor stores and independent. Well, the ones in the supermarket are owned by the supermarket chain. They have more buying power, so a lot of the stuff is more likely to be cheaper than actual independent stores. That's why Dan Murphy's is the cheapest, because it's fucking huge and they have the buying power to get low prices. Sometimes independent stores will have harder to get stuff that you don't get at the big chains. So if you're after something unusual, the independent stores can be good. But yeah, the differences will be in price and what stock they have, basically. And name channel. You're not a Macca's person either. We'll go to Burger King. You like Red Rooster? I just the other night got Nando's chicken, and it was good. And I realized I hadn't had Nando's chicken for ages. We just got whole chicken and chips, and it was good. It was good. There was some leftover chicken the next day I put on a pizza, and that was good too. Robot Man Greg, hello. And yes, Safa, the big supermarket chains do want to own everything. I mean, that was interesting. It's the first whiskey sour I've had in ages. Very easy to drink. I have a little bit of the Tiny Bear Straight, I think. I'm going to put it on ice. Just a smidge, not a big hit. Just feel like having a little tasty taste. That's a satisfying pop. The stopper coming out. All right. I'm going to drink before it gets too dry. For 100 proof whiskey, 50% alcohol. So that's like 25% higher alcohol than is usual for whiskeys. Surprisingly little burn. It is very warm going down, but it's got, I don't know, sort of honey cinnamon flavors. Yeah, I think that's the port. I think I'm really picking up the sweetness because port's like a dessert wine, and this was aged in a port barrel. I think it's picked up some of the sweetness from the port. Oh, that's pretty good. Sorry, James, you missed me. The difference between supermarkets and independents. Supermarkets are likely to be cheaper than independent liquor stores. Dan Murphy's likely to be cheaper again than supermarkets for the same reason, buying power. But sometimes independent stores are good sources of unusual and hard to get stuff. Mind you, Dan Murphy's is pretty fucking good for unusual and hard to get stuff. The supermarket ones, not so much. Basically, the only reason I go to supermarket ones is because they're next to the super. And I only look because sometimes they have unadvertised specials. A couple of times I've gone into the bottle shop attached to a supermarket just to have a look. And there's been a bottle of something like a whiskey or a rum or something that's 25% to 35% off the normal price, like just like a massive saving. And they don't advertise it. It's just there on the shelf. And it's like, well, fuck. I wasn't going to buy that, but look how cheap it is. I'm getting it. Oh, we're having trouble streaming to Twitch. Okay. Something's gone funny with the Twitch stream, but I don't think anyone was watching from Twitch tonight. That's a thing that happens. That's okay. That's okay. Didn't get any comments from Twitch tonight, so hang on. So on that channel, whiskey's reversed to curry. Good curry tastes good going in and burns coming out. You're saying whiskey tastes good going out? Oh, there you go. Drunken FBV. Okay, you can still see me. Drunken FBV and Unnamed Channel are the same person, for those who don't know. Yeah, I just got a message saying there was some problems with Twitch, but it seems okay now. James, fine guess. I am not a beer drinker. I have never been a beer drinker. Still don't like beer. It's too sort of sour and bitter. Just don't like it. Again, no grief on anyone who likes beer. I just don't like it. If I want to get something like that, I'll get cider, alcoholic cider. Safa, did I finally get banned from Twitch for saying simp? Maybe. I do. Twitch, you're so funny. Man, that is single malt whiskey. Very easy to drink. I ordered something off a website because, again, it was on this huge special, like 1/3 off, 1/3 cheaper than anyone else was selling it. Hey, Chris, by the way, just finishing your New Year's Eve party with one out of household guest. Suitably cautious. I like it. Yeah, but I Texas single malt whiskey from a distillery called Balcones. And yeah, it was originally quite expensive, but it was like 1/3 off, so I got it. You'll judge me for Budweiser? I don't know this thing. Safa, growing up in the country, yes. The response in growing up in the country is basically anyone who likes women more than beer must be a poofter. I don't know who first said that line, but I find it hilarious because it's fucking true. If you hang out with women and don't drink beer, you must be gay. James, does Woolworths own Dan Murphy's? Actually, I'm guessing you're right. Put who owns Dan Murphy's? Okay, owned by Endeavour Group, who also own BWS. There you go. So there you go. Parent organisation, the Woolworths Group, Endeavour Group. Yeah. Yes. As soon as you said that, I thought I'd seen that. Well, no one's updated the Wikipedia entry if Woolworths divested, because it's the Endeavour Group and Woolworths that are listed as the parent companies. I don't know. Chris, you're out of breath from using a noisemaker when midnight hit. Came and went before this was had been watching this. That's okay. Again, corporate mergers and divestments and whatnot, they change all over the place. Who knows what's what? But anyway, Greg, looks like no one's updated the Wikipedia page for them. Drinking some water. Make Shieldsy happy. All right. Just a little bit of water. I need a little bit of water. So I like drinking water from a rocks glass with a big rock. People are like, what is that? Is that like, is he drinking vodka? White rum? I don't know. And Chris, you watched the New York City ball drop for the 8th time because you're on the West Coast. Yes. Oh. I do really appreciate the taste of water. So I like really icy cold water. Big fan. All right, Greg, you have to deal with them with the company you work for. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. Oh, fine and dandy. A little bit of water. What is the time? Just after 9. That's right. I was gonna make a drink that had maraschino in it because I want to use that. James, in a very real sense, the virus will never end. The severity and the impact it has on us will change, but the virus is probably going to always be around. Safa, the sun hasn't quite set for you. It's a bit dark out here now. We're past the longest day, so it's a little bit shorter each time. And Chris, you got a midnight kiss, so that's nice. Right. Cocktails by ingredient, by liqueur. I'm going to go maraschino. Where'd it go? Maraschino liqueur. I know most people say maraschino. It upsets them when I say maraschino, which is why I do it, to upset them. Okay, so Brooklyn has maraschino. Imitation twist. That's a tequila one. A last word. Oh, actually, I haven't fucking had a chartreuse drink in ages. Maybe a last word and go heavy on the maraschino. A cherry Martinez. A New York Minute. Tequila. Maraschino. A Dublin Minstrel. That's one with Irish whiskey. Oh, a Martinez with Geneva. Actually. What's the spec on that? No, I need to use a lot of maraschino. 5 mils won't do it. A Mexican in Manhattan. A tuxedo. Maybe I'll just make a last word. It's feeling like a last word. So that's at least equal parts. Mezcal and cognac and maraschino. Wow, honestly. An Ad Astra to the Stars. That's a Brad Pitt movie. So unknown Joe, you got a midnight kiss, but the mirror was a bit cold. Dang. So Chris, what's it about 60 days be petering out of host? Oh, right. Yeah. No, that's I think that's what they discovered in South Africa. The surge lasts for about 2 months. The worst of it goes for about 2 months, and then it starts to level out. So I guess we'll see. Safi, you had pasta sauce. Oh, I had lamb curry that Mrs. Angry made. Fuck, it was good. It was very good. James, does water have alcohol in it? No. Does alcohol have water in it? Yes. Well, it's a liquid anyway. Chris, is that for real? Are you saying you didn't get dumped? Was there a change of heart? Are you brightening my cold dead heart with positive news? No, gentlemen, do we agree Kevin from Home Alone grew up and became John Kramer in the Saw franchises with all the elaborate traps and whatnot? It would make sense. Would absolutely make sense. Okay, what's in an Ad Astra? No, 10 mils of maraschino is not enough. There's only 20 mil. I thought a last word was equal parts. I'm going to get another recipe. Fucking Difford tends to fuck around with accepted recipes. What does liquor.com say? Yeah, equal parts. That's what I fucking thought. That's what I fucking thought. Difford's been a dick. Oh, wowzers. Chris, 100% real. Spend a holiday is good. Someone's hiding a very bad debt for you. That is, oh my God, that's just like the best news. Romance is in the air from Nettie and Nobody having their bloody New Year's shenanigans, and now Chris, happy. That is such good news to hear. Love is in the air, as I say. Okay, well that's good. That is very good. Very happy to hear that. All right, so We're gonna fuck off and do an equal parts. Yes, and I get to put a cherry in this one. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I was thinking, do I want to have another drink? I'm going to have another drink. Fuck it. Saturday night. Sleep in again. Oh, that's all, Chris. She called and apologized after the stream. Well, that's nice. It's not nice that you went through that, but it's nice that, came out a bit positively. Okay. Why did I come over? Oh, no. I came over here to get a cocktail skewer. That's why I came over here. Do that. And I'll get my fine measuring jigger. This one I don't use as much. Doesn't hold as much as the other jigger, but has some finer measurements on it. And this is a stirred cocktail. Wo ist my stirrer? Here it is. We do the finger. Shazam, y'all. Captain Marvel Jones. He's a Southern Superman. Watching all them bad guys 24 hours a day. I'm just singing a really weird novelty song from my youth that I remember. Pay no attention to my silliness. Well, pay attention if you want. I don't mind. So, put that away. That away. Got maraschino. Where did my chartreuse go? I was moving shit around. And I think I moved... Oh, no, there it is. Chartreuse. Almost out. I need to get some more chartreuse. Shit, I should know. What is in a last word? Gin. Okay, which gin? Which gin will I put in? I want to do one of the barrel-aged ones. Fuck it, I'll do Archie Rose. Ooh, I haven't even opened this bottle. It's a replacement bottle. Okay, have to open that bottle to use it. Why not? And lime juice. So the lime juice I squeezed is here. Captain Marvel Jones, he's a Southern Superman. And cherry. Okay. Cool. Oh, and I need a glass, of course, if I'm going to drink this. Oh, no, I'm going to do this one. I was kind of tempted to do my wacky glass, but I'll do this one. Got my stirring finger. All right, so it's 3/4 of an ounce of everything. Captain Marvel Jones. Okay. Oh gosh, Chris, panic attacks. Don't like to work with the schedules, yeah. And yes, the Fridge Ninja did do a quick fridge raid there. Okay. Trying to get this fucking... There we go. That's what I wanted. Get the seal to break. I feel like it's always a momentous occasion to open a new bottle. Archie Rose Bone Dry Gin. What a class drop. Oh my god, the juniper that comes off that is just freaking amazing. All right, so 3/4 of an ounce of gin. Man, that's amazing. Right, 3/4 of an ounce of chartreuse. Is that honey? You got sunshades on JWST. Oh, the space telescope. For a second, I had no idea what you were going on about. Okay, green chartreuse. Secret monk's recipe. Put that A recipe supposedly created in 1605. So they've decided May 16 is Chartreuse Day because, it's 1605. There is a tiny bit over on the chartreuse. So there you go. This bottle just screams 70s to me. All right. That goes in recycling. I'm going to keep the stopper. The stopper might be useful. So maraschino. So yeah, if and when it's fully deployed successfully, that new space telescope is going to be pretty amazing. Yeah, I think I should have done slightly less lime juice than that. I know what the recipe says, but my palate says otherwise. I like things a bit less acidic than... all right, so now stir this. So get some ice. Ice, ice, baby. Good. And loop. Big things, ice. Break that up a bit. Now you get some ASMR. Hey, Jonathan Chubb. Happy New Year. Stirring. I hope that's not too harsh for anyone wearing headphones. A little bit of cocktail ASMR. That's probably enough. Oh, man. Okay, that's good. We shall strain that into my drinking receptacle. Ugh. All right. Beautiful wash line. That's just great. Last word, a modern classic. Where's my cherries? I'm putting a cherry in this mofo. Jonathan, there's got to be you've got to put a lot. That's less ice than a lot of people would put in a stirring glass, actually. Cherry. In you go. Unnamed channel, blew your ears. Doesn't bother you because of the first blow in years. Okay, so. Oh, I was supposed to shake that, not stir it. I'm a friggin' idiot. That's okay. I'm fucking done. Lime juice. Of course you fucking shake it. Fucking clown. Anyway, I'm happy with that for now. Drain a little bit more in there. All good in the hood. I absolutely do not want to drop my cherry jar. That would be a crime. I do love putting these maraschino cherries, taste so fucking good. And I love having them completely submerged in the drink so it absorbs some of the drink as well. They slightly sweeten the drink. Mm. Oh man, that's good. That's just really light. And you've got the real herbal. There's a tiny bit of chartreuse. I've got to get another bottle of chartreuse. I think Dan Murphy's has it. Yeah. It's got the herbal elements from the chartreuse because this is, again, the folklore of chartreuse. It doesn't really have any of the folklore and thing, but the folklore is it was invented by monks in the 1600s, and only a small number of people know the real recipe for it. So yeah, so this is equal parts gin, chartreuse, maraschino liqueur, and lime juice. Jonathan, it took you 20 seconds to get the cherry popping joke from unnamed channel. That's okay. My main thing is I love the cherry. That? Oh, well, it varies from shop to shop, but I think an average is this jar costs about $20. There's a lot of cherries in it, and I really best before the end of 2025 because they're in pure sugar. They're in marasca syrup. The Luxardo maraschino cherry are candied cherries with marasca syrup. The marasca cherry is a fruit cultivated and distilled by Luxardo for their renowned maraschino liqueur. Although that's not Luxardo maraschino I had. It's Croatian maraschino. So it's 50% cherries, 50% syrup. Once open, keep the jar closed in a cool, dry place. Do not freeze. May contain cherry pits. So, yeah. Jonathan, alcohol does indeed dull the senses. That's its goddamn job. Please shield me from the horror of reality alcohol. Give me blessed oblivion and fucking kill some brain cells. And the liver is evil and must be punished. Man, it's a really nice drink. No wonder that's like a modern classic. And people do all these riffs of it because it's like people worked out like, oh, those ratios work like equal parts of a spirit, a herbal liqueur, a fruit liqueur, and fruit juice. So people have just the most common thing people do is change what the spirit is. Your standard last word is gin. People will swap out for tequila, for whiskeys, even for rum, for brandy. People will use different fruit liqueurs, not just the maraschino liqueur. And people will even do different herbal liqueurs, not just the chartreuse. And they'll change the fruit juice as well. Some variants have lemon juice as opposed to lime juice. Yeah, but it's kind of funny when people work out something that works and, it becomes a really popular drink, then other people go, oh, okay, well, that works. So maybe if I made this little change, that would work. There's a style of creating cocktails that gets referred to as Mr. Potato Head. Because with a potato head toy, you like take one part off and put another part on. You put a different nose, you put a different eye, you put a different mouth, all those things. That's potato head. So a potato head cocktail is like, okay, here's an established recipe that works. Everyone agrees this works. It's a good recipe. So what if there's this element, there's a spirit element. What if instead of the spirit that everyone recommends, I take that out and put a different spirit in? Or if I split it, instead of being all one spirit, I split it between two spirits. And the same with the liqueur, the same with fruit juice, the same with the sweetener. It's basically like, oh, okay, well, that works. So I'm going to take that out and put this in instead. You're almost guaranteed to get a passable, if not good, drink by adapting a successful recipe like that. So, unnamed channel, you'll refuse tequila. I think people have bad associations with tequilas because their association with tequila is being convinced to do shots of tequila until they vomit. And so they go, tequila's bad. It's like, no. There are a whole spectrum of tequila cocktails that are friggin' awesome. And I just mean they're very good. But yeah, it's kind of, if your exposure to a particular sort of alcohol is drinking it to excess until you vomit, you're going to have a bad association with that alcohol. And for a lot of people, that's tequila. For some reason, people get suckered into doing tequila shots and it ends badly. That's the thing on the streams. You'll almost never see me doing shots. I don't do shots. Like I'm, yeah, look, I'm making cocktails to get drunk, but I'm also making cocktails to appreciate flavors and whatnot. Whereas if you're doing shots, you're not appreciating the flavor at all. You're just doing it to get drunk. And it's like, okay, that's your bag, but you're going to end up regretting it. Do I sometimes regret if I have one or two cocktails too many? Yes, I have on occasion regretted that, but I try to learn from each time that happens. It goes, oh, okay, that was one too many. Don't do that again. A name channel, you were hollowing out potatoes to serve cocktails in them. No wonder people stopped coming up. I don't know. I know it's a joke, but I mean, that could work. If it was a very hard raw potato, it would be an unusual drink receptacle, but it could work. So, unnamed channel, no one had shots of tequila. It's one of the first drinks of the night, almost threw my guts out. Again, that's not tequila. Again, the taste may not appeal to you, but again, tequila is not one thing. There are dozens and dozens of different tequilas, and they have the difference between them range from subtle to quite noticeable. It's kind of like, I'll often get people say, oh, I'll never drink because I always get sick. I always throw up. I always say, no, that isn't true. Alcohol is alcohol. Why you get sick or why you have a hangover is because you drink it to excess. And so, but it's really common. People essentially form superstitions about different spirits, and these superstitions are not borne out in reality. But people go, oh, no, if I ever do that, I just get so sick. It's like, no, you had a night out, you drank too much, you threw up, or you had a really bad hangover, or both. And then you said, oh, it was that alcohol's fault. It's like, no, it was all the alcohol's fault. It's just, yeah. Safa, superstitions are like the human capacity for pattern recognition gone wrong. Like a lot of people say a thing that helps people in a lot of culture survive is pattern recognition. It's like, it's how you spotted the tiger in the long grass because you were used to the grass being a particular pattern, and then something changed and you went, there's a predator, it's dangerous. So humans' capacity for pattern recognition has allowed humans to advance and survive all sorts of things. But humans also tend to see patterns where nothing exists. It's like seeing faces in things. It's like looking at a power socket and thinking it looks like a face. Humans, that's the actual word, Megaleech, pareidolia, seeing faces where there isn't one. And that can range from fun and quirky, like I can see a face in the knots on that tree, through to very weird stuff where people go, oh no, there's a face on that tree, it's possessed by a spirit. So yeah, humans' capacity for pattern recognition is credited as both being one of the most significant things that allowed humans to evolve and succeed, but also that makes humans fall into really dumb, stupid patterns. Superstitions are essentially pattern recognition gone wrong. There's like, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Therefore, this bad thing that ultimately happened was caused by this innocuous thing that happened here. Because you go, I saw it was a couple of times. I did that, then that happened, then a shit thing happened, then that, and a shit thing happened. I did something different, a shit thing didn't happen. Sometimes the pattern is real. You go, this affects this, which affects this, which affects this. Sometimes the recognition of a pattern is accurate, but humans also have a tendency to fill in the blanks and create a pattern where there isn't one. And that's where superstitions come from. But yeah, it's pretty wild. And then Johnny Youngwood smoked pot, spent a long time staring at a spider that he could see a face when it hung upside down. Yeah, that's going to happen if you do the droogs. Honey face in the photo of the grassy knoll. JFK stuff. Speaking of seeing patterns where there are none. Yeah, but also brains and our ability to perceive things are horribly flawed. There's the whole thing saying about seeing is believing, the camera never lies. But there are a lot, and it's not just visual perception, but visual perception is the easiest to fool, I think. Sometimes our pattern recognition with sensory input, like physical touch and smell and hearing, is flawed. Visual input is the easiest thing to fuck with, I think. Optical illusions. It is really easy to create completely false optical illusions when you look at them and go, oh, that's a thing. And it simply isn't a thing. And it's really common. And it's a thing I always like to refer people to when they're like, oh, I'm into evidence-based stuff. It's like, no, evidence is not what you perceive. Evidence is when people do the same, multiple different people do the same experiment and are able to replicate results, because we can get fucking confused very easily by false pattern recognition. It's ridiculous. While also somewhat humorous, quite honestly. Humans so proud of their cleverness and so fallible at the same time. But by the same token, I'm saying we're easily fooled and all that. And then some fucking moron conspiracy idiot goes, yeah, and therefore no science is to be trusted. And my batshit theory is as valid as science. No. Science is constantly being questioned. Good science is when multiple different people can reproduce an experiment and get the same result in different environments. Mistakes are made in science. It happens. But just because mistakes are made in science doesn't mean reject science. Conspiracy nuts. Yeah, unnamed channel. That's when boats on the horizon can create an illusion of floating. There are so many examples of optical illusions that completely fool us into thinking they're real. Yes, Alex Jones is just a fucking charlatan. He's a scam artist. But there was one I saw recently. It was on Twitter, and it was these photos, and they're taken from all these different places around the world, and it was always places where it was really cold. It was this image. It looked like columns of light going up into the sky, like columns of light from the ground to the sky. And it's not just people see it, you can photograph it and see it in photographs. And this scientist is saying, these are amazing. They're also not real. Those columns of light don't exist. And very rudimentary layperson's explanation of what's actually happening is there are a lot of ice crystals in the air, and they're reflecting light in different ways. And it's got to do with the way light bounces off thing and how far away the ice crystals are from you. What you're seeing, there is no, these columns of light literally look like there is a spotlight on the ground pointing up at the sky. Okay. And there are no columns of light. What it is, there's a lot of ice crystals in the air and they're reflecting light in different wavelengths. And your fucking brain tries to interpret all these different wavelengths of reflective light. And you're actually seeing like the ice crystals that are causing the thing are here. And then there's an optical illusion that there's a column of light here past the ice crystals that are actually causing it. The science behind it is really twisted. But what's weird to me is it isn't simply your eyes are being fooled. You can take a photo and you'll see them on a photo. And it's all just about refracted light and ice crystals. And the ice crystals are basically projecting, and it's like an illusion of a column of light. There is no column of light, but you can see the column of light. You can photograph the column of light, but it's got to do with how light refracts through ice crystal. It's fucking trippy, fucking tripping balls. Safa, should I be a scientist? Should I? I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. I can just read what scientists publish. I go through. What's that unnamed channel? Good Robin to NDT's Batman. I'm not at all sure what that means. Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson lately is leaning into the thing where he annoys people. And he's like, oh, you're annoyed, are you, motherfucker? You're annoyed by me saying that's not real or that science isn't right. Well, I'm just going to do it more because I found out it annoys you. So I'm going to do it more. But I would certainly listen to stuff that Neil deGrasse Tyson tells me. It's not like he's a flawless human. But yeah. Unknown channel, you like that about Neil deGrasse Tyson? Annoys everybody. Like, I honestly think he's doing it at this point just to take the piss. Fuck. Man, that cherry is good. But I dropped my skewer. Let me pick it up. Hip. Oh, okay. That knocked off my maraschino liqueur. And that's probably enough drinking booze for one evening. Just roll into last one. I'm going to put these bottles back. Oh, poor tiny bit. Okay, so I'm A, going to get another bottle of chartreuse. And then B, make something to knock off this last bit. Same as I made something to knock off that last bit of maraschino. Unnamed channel took girlfriend to see NTT and NZ. At that point, listened to so many of his YouTube videos. You knew what he's going to say. But your girlfriend enjoyed it. All right, well, that's good. All right, I'm just going to put the chartreuse back there. The Archie Rose gin there. Oh, shit. All right, let's put that there. Here. Man alive. There are man alive. Toma on Facebook. Hello. Yes, Happy New Year to you. Oh, sorry. There's a bit of dinner that had been stuck between my teeth. Came out. Sharing too much information right now. But that's the thing I do. Share too much information. Just trying to think. On the one level, I'm thinking, I should hydrate. I should drink a little bit more water before bed. I was thinking I feel like I should hydrate a little. Will stop me having a headache when I wake up. But then it'll also make me have to get up and piss in the middle of the night. But I can survive that. Until I didn't go outside the window. Took my baby. Took my baby. Right, got my glass here. Still has a little bit of ice. And I'll get... Oh my God. This is so Hank Hill narrow urethra. Water comes out really slowly. It's hard to be patient. I'm going to half fill this. And I'm going to put shit heaps more ice in it. I've got ice in my mixing glass there. I'm also trying to empty my water reservoir. Like you see in the fridge there, it's a water reservoir. I'm trying to empty it because I need to clean it. I was looking at it and went, wait, I think there's, I haven't cleaned it in forever. I think there's some stuff growing on it that I have to clean off. So, Safa, in reality, a dingo did steal the baby. I don't believe there was foul play with Azaria Chamberlain. I think a dingo did actually steal the baby from the tent. All right. Water. So what's that? And I'm thinking, guys, best thing before to go to bed when you get up after drinking cranberry juice. The animal looked like a dingo. Dingoes are very beautiful dogs, actually. Not friendly, and people often make the mistake of thinking they're cute doggos. They're wild dogs, and they will fucking bite you. They will fucking maul you. Chris, making food. A little early for bed. Mac and cheese. Dude, when is mac and cheese not good? Mac and cheese freaking rocks. Oh, okay. Water was the right thing. That tastes really good. Do a little clinky ice ASMR. Yes. Heine, that is a ring light by my door. I was setting some stuff up earlier. I was going to try and shoot some video before the live stream because I have a whole new setup here. But one thing and another, I didn't really have things ready in time. So I didn't. But that's why the ring light is over there. I was going to be bouncing the ring light off that wall because that makes the light less harsh than pointing the ring light straight at me. So sort of bounce it. And yeah. So yes, probably tomorrow I will shoot some video with my new setup and then try to edit it. Seems like I'm actually going to try shooting on my phone and doing some effects because I'm trying to create a thing that kind of looks like it's animated. It's just this idea I have. So I feel like it might work, but I don't know for sure. So YouTube being YouTube, I'm going to do the 100% method. Well, just fucking do it. Do it and see what happens. And if it fails, it fails. No harm done. Leave it. But it might work. Coconut Cleaver. You worked for animal trailers who did Evil Angels. Huh? That actual clothes the baby which put on a doll belt. So I know this story. There was actually, they had a dog on the set that dragged the baby they made. So it's like, damn. So for Monday's a public holiday. I actually have 2 weeks off. I am taking 2 weeks off. So I'm back at work on Monday the 17th. Still a contractor. They extended my contract for another 6 months. I was talking to them about being permanent, but the bureaucracy for setting up a permanent role grinds very slowly. So they extended my contract for another 6 months, which I'm fine with because contract rates fucking rock. So particularly if the plan is I'll be on contract rates for another 6 months and then we'll set up a permanent thing because, you know, I kind of have got to the stage where it's like, oh, I like working here and I could just kind of ease into retirement here. So there's just sugar on this. Like, fuck knows how long. I reckon I had that maraschino liqueur bottle for 2 years because I don't use much maraschino liqueur. So I reckon it took me 2 years to empty it. So there's a little bit of, unsurprisingly, there's a little bit of sugar sediment on the stopper because it sat on my drink cart for 2 years. Okay, Coconut Cleaver. The dog they had on set was 3/4 dingo, 1/4 shepherd. There was a real paranoia, probably in the late 19th and much of the 20th century. People were kind of freaked out at the ideas that dingoes might crossbreed with big domesticated dogs like German shepherds or other big dogs and create an unstoppable super dog, which is where I had all these dingo fences put up and whatnot, and people killing dingoes because they were paranoid about dingoes becoming a super predator. So, Chris, you're saying in the US went from 1 million cases from tests, so it's probably more like 2 million. Again, yeah, the Omicron spread is close to exponential. So I think everyone's basically expecting case numbers to double week over week. Certainly what we're seeing in Australia. I think it's what we're seeing in the US and Europe. So yeah, Omicron appears to be super fucking infectious. But kids, go out and get your booster because the available evidence is having a third shot does not particularly protect you from becoming infected with the virus. I mean, it's better than not being vaccinated, but Omicron appears to be able to get through like far more than other variants. But being boosted with a third shot massively reduces your chance of serious illness or death. You'll get the virus, you might be a bit sick, but a booster, a third shot, massively reduces your chance of serious illness or death. So fucking do it. Get a fucking booster. As soon as you're eligible, get a fucking booster because you overwhelmingly, like, you're better than 50% chance in the next couple of months you will contract the Omicron variant. The available evidence is there's a better than even chance you'll get it. So you want to have boost 3 shots if you're eligible, because then the chances of you getting serious illness or death are really radically reduced. Unnamed channel. Crossbreed Dachshund with a German Shepherd and call it a bratwurst. Why not? Why not indeed? So, Chris, your mum's co-workers who weren't boosted got wrecked when they got COVID? Yeah. So, Megalich, your family knows someone in Queensland got positive results. Cases are, they're just fucking, apart from Western Australia, they're just fucking exploding. New South Wales and Victoria have had big surges before, but this one's just off the hook. South Australia and Queensland have avoided big surges, but now they're getting a big surge. Oofed. So, yeah, get a fucking booster as soon as you can. Because, as I said, it's not a guarantee that you won't get the virus, but it just so radically reduces your chances of serious illness or death. Oh, Sarah, I think we all wish it never happened, man. Oh, yeah, sorry. The person in your family knows, Megalich, works in a bar. It's a very high-risk environment. It's just, man, it's just fucked. And yet again, just starting the year and looking at it and going, man, this could actually be the worst year of the pandemic so far, which is horrific to contemplate. It won't necessarily be, but it could be, which is just fucked, just absolutely fucked. Ugh. So, and it also appears stuff's going to keep happening that will make the conspiracy idiots continue to lose their stupid little minds, which is funny. Okay, unnamed channel. I don't know if that's a joke or if you have fallen down that rabbit hole. North Koreans developed the virus to release to China. Yeah, North Korea does not have the capacity to do that. All the available science has been warning us for decades that a pandemic of this type was inevitable. It was always a case of when, not if. And we have been dodging it for decades, and this one finally got us. So, Heine, you're booked in early Feb. Go to random pharmacy. Well, is the thing, as of Monday, you only have to wait 4 months after your second dose to get a third dose. So yeah, that's absolutely what I'm going to do. Just fucking walk into places that are doing vaccinations saying, hey, can you just like fucking jab me? If they say no, they say no. I'm booked in for a week from Monday. So that's the latest I'll get it. If I can get it sooner, I will get it sooner. But yeah, the fucking conspiracy lunatics have been going on with their shit about, we're just going to let you get boosters forever. I was like, oh, medicine forever. That sounds great. Okay, yes, okay. Thank you, unnamed channel. North Korea found a unicorn lair. Now I understand what you're saying. Stuff you mean excess, not access. Is the pandemic the world cleaning off excess animals and people? No. This pandemic and all recent major disease outbreaks that could have turned into global pandemics are a byproduct of very stupid structures humans have in place, like factory farms. Honestly, vegans are going to get vindicated at one point because there's going to be unless we change, factory farms are going to end up being responsible for a pandemic that fucking wipes people out. Like currently, everyone's getting COVID, but it has a death rate of 1% to 2%, which in terms of global population is a fuck ton of people. But, it's 1% to 2%. We're just like dancing on the fucking knife edge of a pandemic that's at least as contagious as COVID is proven to be, but it has a 10% death rate. So 10%, that's just fucking... And again, humanity survived the fucking plague in Europe that killed between a third and a half of the population of Europe over decades. It's just like, can you imagine? Again, what was weird is there was this sort of golden age economic boom after the plague for the survivors. But can you imagine the psychological trauma of half the population dying? Jesus. Chris, you're in testing virus, dangerously unregulated labs next to open meat market's not a good idea. I still don't think COVID has anything to do with stuff that was happening in labs. You can argue there may have been there may still be insufficient controls in some labs in China. The simplest explanation is this is a natural mutation of viruses that happen. And the way human society is set up, we are very vulnerable to a pandemic. Most people who know these things are super paranoid about various strains of avian flu. Most people who know what they're talking about put to factory farming of poultry and say, oh, this shit's going to kill us. This shit is going to kill us. There's going to be a variant of an avian flu that's deadly as fuck and will jump from chickens to humans, and then we're just fucked. Oofed. So yeah, and again, this might be it. This was the worst pandemic since the 1918 flu pandemic. It might be another 100 years till another really bad one. Might be 50 years. Might be 20 years. might be this year. You know, it's like we're playing Dungeons and Dragons and we're just rolling percentile dice and going like, okay, so there's only a 1% chance that a horrible pandemic will happen. That's not a 0% chance. You just keep rolling, and eventually your number comes up. Safa, stop eating chicken. Factory farming needs to be stopped for a number of reasons, not least because it's horribly cruel to the animals. But also, you talk to the people who know about such things, and they're like, "Oh no, factory farming is going to kill us. Something will come out of factory farming that will just fucking kill us." So, unnamed channel, you are right. The plague, the Black Death, created a middle class. There was like just a ruling class and a peasant class, and the plague killed so many people. It created a lot of economic mobility. It essentially created a middle class for the first time. It was a period of great improvement in lives of the people who didn't die. You know, there was decades of horror. Can you imagine? Again, this is the thing I always think of with the Black Plague. People who 100% believed in God is running everything. When 50% of people die, you have to start thinking God has abandoned you. And just the existential angst of that. That's something that I always think of. That's fucked. So Coconut Cleaver, you worked on farms and all animal agriculture is cool. Yeah, but factory farming is orders of magnitude worse than general agriculture. But yeah, it's humans are sowing the seeds of our own destruction, basically. We're like that. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed, even though, I don't really have to get up early tomorrow, Sunday, and I'm 2 weeks leave. But I'm also trying to be a responsible person, and 2 hour live stream, that's enough. I am going to go to Sleepy Bobo's now, and Sunday night. All things being equal, I'm doing a Sunday night stream as well. So we shall see how that goes. And I'll see you all another time. And I will wish you all the best. And let's fucking hope for some improvement in 2022. I have horrible feelings about it being the worst yet, but here's hoping I'm wrong and things start to turn around this year. Hoorah! Take care.